Today's Juneteenth special edition of Community Matters is sponsored in part by the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services and the Honda dealers of the Carolinas.
This week on Community Matters, a Juneteenth community celebration of freedom.
A lot of people still don't know the history of Juneteenth, but back in June of 1865, this is when our last group of slaves found out that they were actually emancipated. They had actually been emancipated for 2.5 years, but that word did not get down to them. So this is when the last group of enslaved people found out that they were free. I'm actually, from the Louisiana area, so it's something that we have always put on our calendars, right? Wanted to celebrate. It's now becoming more, I don't want to even say mainstream, but more people are hearing about it with the internet and social media. And now it became a federal holiday in 2021, which is a big deal. Well, hopefully people aren't just celebrating, right? Hopefully people are going back and learning why we're even having this day, right? So even just cracking that book is a big thing, because maybe it'll make your curiosity go even further into the issue, right? And then maybe you'll go into how is that affecting people still to this day? 400 years is a long time, and to think that, in only this small period of time, we aren't still being affected by that, and maybe it'll broaden their horizons to just kind of look out for others.
I think it's important for our students, but everyone, to be aware of these sort of significant moments in American history, and to think about what they represent in terms of the continuing enlargement of access to citizenship rights for a wide variety of people who might have been deprived of in the past, and the importance of our protecting those rights, all the rights that come with citizenship in the present day and into the future. The issue of freedom and citizenship rights is an ongoing task for the nation, and that as we go forward into the future, the hope is that it continues to be an important issue worth talking about. I don't think this is just an event for the past. I think it's an event that also represents our present day. And I think part of the reason why it's become a national holiday is that we've come to recognize that it's an important issue that we need to continue to struggle with and to think about and to make available as we go forward, and to make everyone feel a part of this nation, a part of the government fabric, and to underscore the need for people to participate in the political and the social system, and to ensure that we all are active members of what takes place in this nation.
This is a part of history for our entire nation, all right? We celebrate other independence as well. So being independent and free is for everyone. So this is a historic moment in time where we have to understand that there are people in our community that find this important. So as part of our authentic community and the community of diversity, we want to make sure that people feel like they belong here. And this is part of it.
I think Juneteenth celebrating is very special. It's very important. Kind of what the mayor said, right? It's about freedom. I know we celebrate 4th of July, and this is another form of 4th of July, right? From the freedom perspective, and just being able to all come together and celebrate something this monumental, I think is very special, because it allows people in the community that this holiday represents to feel like their voice matter, their opinions matter, and even their culture matter. So just being able to all come together and celebrate is something really special.
People don't know what Juneteenth is about, so we need to keep it true to form. So we decided to write this play, which is called Freedom to What? And it's set in 2023 here in Fuquay Arena. So the Jenkins family takes us on a journey back in time to tell us about the story of Juneteenth and how we got there. So it starts off with the Emancipation Proclamation, so people will see Abraham Lincoln reciting spoken word. Then we'll go into the Juneteenth in Galveston when General Granger read the order. And then we kind of talk about the Jubilee and the celebration of Juneteenth, but also the hardships that after Juneteenth, we weren't just free, right? We kind of were free-ish, and it was kind of like freedom to what? Freedom to do what? Freedom to go where? There's a line in the play that says, a history untold is like it didn't exist. And so I feel like it's important to recognize that, like we say, Opal Lee, who is a real life person, who was, we call her the grandmother of Juneteenth, as she's gonna say in one of her lines, we celebrate the heck out of 4th of July, but everybody wasn't free. And 4th of July, right? So it's important to understand that there were still people in captivity during that time, and that it's important to acknowledge that this happened, but that we've come such a long way. So I think it's important to acknowledge that Juneteenth deserves to be celebrated.
One of our characters who is representing the still living Opal Lee, who's considered the grandmother of the Juneteenth holiday, and she did a lot of work to encourage Joe Biden and Congress to make it a national holiday. And her character delivers the line, you know, a lot of people think that this holiday is a Texas thing, or they think that this holiday is a black thing, but it could in fact, you know, this is America's uniter. This is the holiday that speaks to freedom for all of us. That is the theme of American history. That is what unites us all, is working toward the increase of our rights and also questioning what it means to be free in this country.
The impact of what Juneteenth really means and what freedom really means to not just us as a black community, but us as a whole, as a country, I believe is significant to just who we are as a people. This is not just a celebration, it's not just a holiday. It's a way for us to learn, to fellowship together, to engage with one another, and to come to an understanding of our cultures, our backgrounds, our history, and to know that we're all in this together.
Our association has done something along that lines of celebrating and recognizing that, and has given us this day off, right? So yes, I think as more organizations, as more people begin to become aware of this such historic moment, we'll be able to bring recognition to that. And that, I feel like, because our nation is just so diverse and at times can be a melting pot for so many different cultures and backgrounds and demographics, that's only the stepping stone, right? We hope, and my prayer and wish is that Juneteenth is just another step towards potentially National Hispanic Heritage Month, right? Other opportunities to recognize many other different cultures and backgrounds as we begin to celebrate and unify us all together.